How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, and we are reacting to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, Episode 14, Love in the Time of Hydra. I assume we'll be cutting back to Ward then. Well, no, actually, I was thinking Ward just because he's the only remaining Hydra that's, like, left in the show, which is a character that we know. But no, there's still Dr. List. I'm not sure if he's gonna be a character in the show though as a villain, because he was also in Winter Soldier, so I'm not sure if they're saving him for the movies. But yeah, so maybe Wart, maybe List, maybe Strucker. I don't know. Maybe it'll be bigger than I think. Let's figure it out. Let's get into it. If you want to see the full length, go check it out on the Patreon. You can get it for $8 a month. Go check it out. My boys. Let's do it. So, this episode, Love in the Time of Hydra. I gotta say though, I'm not that invested in the relationship between Ward and Agent 33 right now, or Kara is her real name. I'm not that invested in it, but that said, and I don't mean just because they're evil, you know, I could still get invested in an evil, fucked up, twisted relationship with someone who's brainwashed. It could still be interesting. But right now I'm not that into it, but at the same time, you know, I was very not into the Skye and Ward relationship at the very beginning of the season, and then over the course of it, they made me actually get invested in it before they pulled the rug out from under me. Same thing with, you know, Ward and May. I was not that invested in until it took a couple episodes. You know, each of these kind of things, it's hard to really be invested in right off the bat. Especially for a character like Kara, who is, such a blank slate that, a lot of this episode is building her into a character at all in the first place. So this was kind of her character introduction, in a way. You know, her, sort of like, establishing how she is now, I guess. Character establishment rather than a character introduction, I should say. But yeah, so is Ward actually falling for her, or is he just using her? And maybe that's a part of the reason why I can't get invested into it as much, is because, like, you know, I don't know if Ward actually has moved on, or if he is doing all this for some other plot. Like, Kara is definitely falling way further, like, she's falling in love with him, in a very twisted sense, but she is also just falling further into his brainwashing as well, through the love. The more love she feels for him, really the further the brainwashing it's become, and it's gonna be hard to tell where it, you know, where one ends and one begins. It's really kind of interconnected. It's all the same thing, the brainwashing and the love. It's all just the same. But yeah, getting to see her with the different faces, always using the May voice. Oh, my voice. Speaking of my voice. But the May voice over the visual faces of anybody that was playing her. Great acting. But number one, amazing acting on Skye's actor's part. Like, they really did, like, purposely zoomed into her lips to show that, like, she was nailing it perfectly. Everyone else, you know, it wasn't such a close-up, so it was, you know, it wasn't as impactful. But with Skye, they wanted to, like, show you that, like, this is, you know, she is acting this out perfectly. And just bravo to everybody, though. Like, seriously, every single person in this episode who had to act as Kara, like, bravo on their part. I would say that, the short guard, that one was the only one where I felt like, didn't really feel like it was matching Kara's expressions or personality throughout the rest of the episode. But other than that, I would say everybody else pretty much nailed it. And yeah, just amazing effects in general with the mask just throughout the whole episode, getting different things going on with it. The whole, like, skin peeling thing. I mean, it's not amazing, but still, I appreciate that not all the effects are, you know. I was expecting a lot of season 2 to be like season 1. I know it'd get better, but yeah. Yeah, and, like, Ward he says that he's over Skye, that he realizes she's not into him, but did it really take Skye shooting him in the back to realize that? It took him that long, and he acts like, oh yeah, I'm not crazy though. Like, yeah, yes you are. You are absolutely 100% crazy. If it took getting shot in the back to realize that a girl's not into you, buddy, you bat guano crazy. I'm sorry, but you are. No, I'm not sorry. Why is that? Speaking of not being sorry, I would feel bad for all the shit that Bakshi has had to go through in terms of the emotional whiplash back and forth and now being brainwashed, and the so satisfying line of, will my compliance be rewarded? And, it's really not going to matter. But yeah, I would feel bad for him if he wasn't a mass murdering torturer, so go fuck him. Yeah, the whole going through the Air Force Base with General Talbot and all that, I've said it 1,000 times, but I'm very glad that he is a reoccurring character in this, because he's so stereotypically like the most boomer to exist. Like, as always, Marvel loves playing everything up to a ridiculous level. They don't. I'm very appreciative that so far nothing in the MCU, aside from like Daredevil, has been a little bit, but has been a lot, like, very gritty and very trying to play it more realistic and trying to play it more serious. Like, normally Marvel likes to play it silly, they like to play it ridiculous, they like to play it with a level of over-the-topness. They like to, the movies are, they play it a little bit more realistically than the comics, but ultimately they do seem to want to instill that feeling of being a 13-year-old and reading a comic. They hold comedy and just, like, I don't know, rule of cool over anything else, which I definitely appreciate. Like, rule of cool is definitely their number one. But yeah, so Talbot could easily be this, like, very easily hateable, douchey, generic, army douchebag guy, but they play him with this super over-the-topness that makes every scene he's in, instead of just being an eye roller like, oh, this asshole, it's fucking funny how douchey he is. Like, he just owns up to his own douchiness. Like, when's the last time I got your name right? Never. You are correct. Like, that's not even being, that's beyond being a douche. Oh. And yeah, I want to feel bad for Talbot from everything that he's had to go through for the course of the series, sure, but, at the same time, it hasn't been anything that bad. Nothing super bad has happened to him, and ultimately, he keeps getting promoted. Like, the reason he is in this job where he's so highly regarded and can't just shit over all these people below him is because we've got him there. Like, it's kind of our fault too. We put him in this position. I mean, to be fair, he was already a general, so I guess, we didn't. Like, he already was a general. We supposedly have been getting him promotions and stuff, but he still is General Talbot, so. I don't know, I guess we actually haven't done much. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel bad for him, but we're providing so much for his career that, I don't feel bad for him. But okay, so. Simmons and Fitz. Let's talk about that for a second. Again, every episode I feel like we're gonna talk about these two. But, yes, Simmons is pretty extreme on her stance against the powered individuals. Sure, we've known that. She's pretty strong-headed in that regard. And like what Fitz says, yeah, it's pretty scary how much she's changed, specifically just over the course of between 1 and 2. From the end of 1 to the first time we saw her in season 2, massive change. But again, she's seeing death around her. Fitz is going through brain damage. He's mad at her because she is scared of all this stuff happening, but how can you blame her when this stuff is happening? And at the same time, Fitz, pretty extreme in his stance on the being very pro-powered heroes, like going as far as to say if there was a cure for the Hulk, for Bruce Banner, that they should just hide it from him, that they should not tell him about it. Fitz, that's. I mean, I know that was him just like speaking out of, it's all just coming out. He's not thinking about what he's saying. Stuff like that happens. You just say it, you don't really mean it. It's just like you're trying to come up with a comeback. I assume that's what it was, because I'm not sure if he actually would believe that or not. I sure hope not. But then again, so them both being very extreme in their stances on very opposite ends of the spectrum, and then at the same time we have Simmons being very hypocritical about expecting Fitz not to keep secrets about science from her, but then she's going behind his back keeping secrets of science from him. So, just being a hypocrite. I mean, and if you want to talk about keeping, secrets from him, keeping secrets like being at Hydra was kept from him. And yeah, I mean, it depends on what you want to call a secret of science or not, and that's a weird distinction to be like, it's fine if you keep secrets from me, but not secrets of science. Like, I get what she's saying, but then she's, again, just doing the same thing. But, okay, so talking about new S.H.I.E.L.D, real S.H.I.E.L.D, what are we gonna call them? I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna call real S.H.I.E.L.D for right now. I think the most important line that we need to focus on is something that I've said for a while too. That Coulson is not fit to lead, and it's not because of Coulson. It has nothing to do with Coulson himself. And they are not going behind Coulson's back because they distrust Coulson. What they distrust is the Coulson that Fury has created, right? Coulson has been brought back from the dead. He has caused so much bad shit to happen through the search for the city because of this writing and all that, and it's not his fault. Coulson is not at fault here, but he has been compromised. And I would agree, like, regardless of anything else that they have to say, pro-Coulson, anti-Coulson, whatever, it's true. He's not fit for leadership. He's just not physically or mentally, I guess not physically, I was thinking brain, but that still is mentally, fits to lead. He's just not. He's been compromised. And not in the sense of, I do think they might have meant it in the sense of, that Fury might have compromised him. Fury might be, like, using him in a way, even through death, even though he's not dead. But, shit, what was I gonna say? Oh, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Right. That he's not compromised by Fury, but that he's compromised, in the sense that it's deteriorating, in the sense that he's not the same person anymore, in the sense that he's just not the Coulson that they knew. And the Coulson that we know is only the Coulson that we've seen over the course of the series. I mean, we've seen him over the course of the movies too, but we barely got anything from that. And everybody they've been building up to this since season 1, since everybody's saying Coulson's acting differently. Not just that, it was a thing of like, oh, he came back from the dead, and there must be something physically different from him. Like no, because Aquila Amador, I guess she might have, I thought she saw something with her eye inside of him, or I thought a lot of other people, maybe he was just acting a little bit differently because he doesn't have some of those memories, but it wasn't the memories, and it wasn't, something inside of him, he was acting different. He has been compromised, and they have been making a big point about that for the whole series. I'm now realizing, like, yeah, that's what everybody has been talking about when they say how different he is. And, I mean, like, trying to talk about, I don't know, like, I want to be on Coulson's side, but there's very little that I can be on his side about. Like, okay, pro-Coulson side, not killing all powered individuals. That's a big one. It's a really big one. It's a major one. And what he does to them is still awful, but it's just like the lesser of two evils, I'm assuming. This episode was honestly kind of mad because a lot of the information we got, I already assumed, and we didn't get much more new information. Because, what's their exact stance on powered individuals? I would like to know. Considering that they're mad that Fury is hiding Sky, that could just be because she's hiding her. There's plenty of reason to be mad about it, but I assume for more meta sense for the story, it's because they want to kill her. So pro Coulson not killing all powered individuals, pretty big one there. Pro real S.H.I.E.L.D, total transparency between leadership. We have the just everything I've been talking about with Coulson being compromised. There's nothing pro them, I guess. That's not a pro them though. Their pros are really just total transparency, but they don't have any other pros. It's just they have anti-Coulsons, which I think that's the big thing. Both of these S.H.I.E.L.D s, neither one of them has pros that are that good. The not killing all powered individuals is a lesser of two evils. The total transparency is nice, but it's not like, oh, thank God, our heaven send fucking, both of them are it's still fucking S.H.I.E.L.D. This real S.H.I.E.L.D. that wants to be different. This S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't any different, as Andrew said. This S.H.I.E.L.D. that they're trying to do doesn't seem any fucking different either. And we don't have the information to go off of. As I said, this episode was meh. We didn't get a whole lot of new information. So hopefully next episode we get some more information on what exactly their real goals are and some more pros for them. But at the very least, I don't want to say I'm anti-Coulson, but I'm definitely anti-Coulson being the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've been saying it for a while that May needs to do it, but I don't think he should be. And this could be a way to get S.H.I.E.L.D. back in the movies and, circumvent the whole TV show plot line and not have to have people watch that whole thing to understand what's going on. So, it makes sense if they're going to do that. By the way, Mac and Bobby, absolutely terrible spies. This show has established who a good spy is in the terms of Ward, and they have consistently shown that Bobby and Mac are a bad spy. I was worried back when Ward first escaped and Bobby was, hunting him down and stuff, and, I was like, Bobby is being so obvious. She's such a shit spy. Are we really supposed to insinuate that she's good at being a spy? Same with, being at Hydra. She didn't really seem that good at being a spy, so I assumed that she had to do some pretty fucked up shit in order to, get her position there. So it does seem like, once again, that's not just a weird thing, a writing thing, or just a weird acting choice or whatever. It is specifically Bobby and Mac are not very good actors. Ward was never found out. They were not suspicious of him in the slightest bit. Bobby and Mac, everybody in the entire crew was onto them. Basically, everybody was suspicious. So, yeah, I'm glad. I felt very cathartic to be like, yes, I can trust this show fully 100%. It wasn't even just the Ward thing. It's they know what they're doing with the spies. I don't have to worry about bad spy acting in this show. Speaking of being a fucking amazing spy, good on Hunter for getting the hell out of there. I really not think he was going to be able to pull that off. I thought he was going to turn around, go right back in, but no, he was just peace, I'm out of here, fuck this place. And I'm totally all for him. Anytime any character's in a situation like that, I'm immediately on the side of, yes, run, escape. Even if it's not the greatest idea to do. I said the same thing to Sky last episode. I was yeah, run, get the fuck away, go, run. But probably not the best idea, but still, always my first instinct, so can't blame anybody. Coulson takes Sky to the homestead. It's this place where the heroes go when they want to keep them away from society and stuff. Like Captain America, because he was afraid Captain America was gonna fucking go kill everybody or something. I don't fucking know. Why did he put Captain America here? Just because he was getting acclimated back to life again, I guess? I don't know. But either way, yeah, he says it's it's just some place where we put the fucking heroes, so they can relax and chill and stay away from people. But when he's looking up the files in his office, it's all mirrored, but if you mirror the text, it says the homestead is a weapons and armaments safe house. Why is she there? If she does her vibrating thing, she could, like, that's gonna just be exactly what that one weapon we were trying to get was, that vibrates weapons to activate them back in the hub. So, what the fuck is the plan here? You're putting a vibrating woman on top of a weapons and armaments safe house? And you lied to her again about what this place was. And then we have the giant laser activated grid because, like, I understand that it's bad for S.H.I.E.L.D. to leave. That's not what I'm upset about. I am not upset about the fact that they are trying to get S.H.I.E.L.D. to stay here. Because sure, but she was willing to stay here of her own volition. And do you really not trust her enough to stay here of her own volition after all this time that she has been on the team? Like, Coulson, I really thought that you were playing favorites with Skye, but now he's going even in, like, the opposite direction of completely not trusting her in the middle of her having this whole panic attack about feeling like nobody trusts her at all on the team, and now that's just being proven right. And on top of that, like, the Corvette speech, I feel like was supposed to be a heartwarming speech or something like that, but it was kind of fucked up to me. It, like, he's talking like he's built her. Like, this is, again, very Fury-esque in the way that Fury talked about the way that he, like, built up Coulson and groomed him and stuff. Like, it's kind of, no, it's fucked up. It's not a heartwarming story to hear about. It's kind of fucked up that you look at it that way. I don't think that what he's done is bad, but the fact that he looks at it that way is what's fucked up to me. But anyway, that's it for this episode. I don't think I have anything else. Again, kind of a slower one. Not a whole lot to talk about this episode, I say, even though this is probably going to be like fucking 30-40 minutes long. I will see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.